Hi, my name is Bente, I'm the Norse Witch, and today I would like to talk to you about meditation. So I would like to start out by saying that none of the things that I say in this video are rules. You don't have to do anything that I say. These are just things that help me personally concentrate and get deeper into meditation, and I just thought I would give those tips to you because maybe they will help some of you. So in my humble opinion, meditation is the basic practice when it comes to witchcraft. When you're skilled in meditation, that enables you to do so many things like sensing energies, charging objects with specific energies, contacting deities and entities, I don't know, you name it. There are so many things you can do by just meditating. It always sounds so simple, but it definitely isn't. Also, it's great for overall mental and physical health. I personally really struggle with chronic migraines, especially when I started working at my 9-to-5 job. I got migraines basically every day, and if you suffer from migraines, you know how hard it is, especially if you have to work and you have a migraine every single day. I found out that it's just stress related. As soon as I'm stressed, I can count on a migraine on the next day. At first, when I started working, I didn't meditate. I didn't meditate at all, actually, maybe like once a month, once every 2 weeks. But a few months in, I started meditating daily, and the change was incredible. I went from having a migraine every day to maybe once or like a maximum of twice a week, and that's amazing. And for me, that was just the proof that meditations help me in so many ways. Not just with my witchcraft, with my magic, but also just mentally and physically. Nowadays, I start out each day with about 15 minutes of meditation, and I can just feel that I'm much more relaxed the whole day. I don't get stressed as easily, and I rarely get migraines. So of course, as with everything else, you don't have to meditate. It's very personal to you if you want to do it, if you don't want to do it. If you personally feel like you get something from meditating, because if you don't get anything from meditating, why do it? But in the end, it definitely decreases your stress level, and that's just one of the healthiest things you can do for your body and for your mind. For me, it was just overall very helpful, so I would recommend it to everyone. But even though it's very healthy for you, meditation definitely is very hard, and there are a lot of people that struggle with it. A lot of people struggle with concentrating during meditation. They feel like they get lost in thoughts, or they maybe even fall asleep. And I personally also struggle with meditation. I think there are very little people who don't struggle with it. But I found quite some things that really helped me with my meditation, just concentrating and getting deeper into my meditations. So I want to give those tips to you. Let's start out with tip number 1. So tip number 1 really isn't a tip, it's just a fact. And as soon as you realize that fact, meditation for you gets easier. And that fact is that there is no such thing as the meditation, like the one meditation that's correct. There are so many different kinds of meditations. Probably the first thing that everyone thinks of when talking about meditation is the typical Eastern meditation, where you try to concentrate on your breath and you try to don't think. And in my experience, and also in other people's experiences, because I have talked to a lot of people about it, that's the hardest kind of meditation you could do, basically. Because just focusing on your breath, like solely focusing on your breath and not thinking, you have to be very skilled in meditation to do that. So maybe starting out with that kind of meditation just isn't the best way to start out. So for me personally, more active kinds of meditation were much easier in the beginning than just focusing on my breath and not thinking. Because, for example, if you do a visualization meditation, you have something to really concentrate on. You know you have to visualize something, and that's the thing you concentrate on. For me personally, that was much easier than just focusing on my breath, because your breath cycle is always the same. You breathe in and you breathe out, and you breathe in and you breathe out. And for me, that was very hard to concentrate on just because it was always the same. So maybe if you struggle with a typical Eastern kind of meditation, just try a different kind of meditation. Try something where you concentrate on something else, where maybe you visualize something. Or if you struggle with guiding yourself through the meditation, maybe just try a guided meditation. There are so many guided meditations, there are apps for it, there are YouTube videos for it. And honestly, I would really love to make videos about guided meditations, just where I guide you through meditations. I've done it with some friends already and I really love doing it. So if you would be interested in that, comment down below and tell me. Tip number 2. The second tip I have for you is maybe changing up the time where you meditate. I first started out meditating in the evenings after work, and I was tired in the evenings. I was just maybe stressed out a little bit. I had experienced a lot the whole day, and so there were a lot of thoughts running through my mind, and that was really distracting. But the key part was really that I was just tired. I found out for myself, when I'm tired, I can't meditate. I can't concentrate for the life of me, like at all. So I tried to change that up. Now I meditate in the mornings. It's one of the first things I do in the morning. It's just part of my spiritual morning routine, and that way I'm much more awake when meditating and I can more easily concentrate. So maybe you can just experiment a little bit with the time when you meditate. If it doesn't work for you in the evenings, try it in the mornings, or maybe even try it during lunchtime or something. That's also a possibility. I was already thinking about that, if I want to do that, because that would definitely lower my stress level during work. But I didn't get to try that because COVID. Tip number 3. If you want to do more Eastern styles of meditation and you struggle with it because you can't concentrate on your breath or you get lost in thoughts, then maybe I have some tips for you, because that's a thing that I'm currently really working on. I want to kind of master that challenge. One thing I try to do is not just concentrate on the breath, like the concept of my breath. I try to concentrate on the specific parts of my body that change when I breathe. At first, I tried to concentrate on my sternum, how that feels like when I breathe. But that worked, but it wasn't the best thing. So what I do now is I concentrate on my lungs. I concentrate on the feeling of the air flowing into my lungs and out of my lungs again when I breathe. And maybe if that doesn't work for you, maybe you can concentrate on your nose, how your nose feels like when the air enters your nose, it goes out of your nose again. There are a lot of things that change within the body while you breathe, and you can concentrate on anything. Also, if you realize that a thought is coming up in your mind, don't stress about it. It's not a bad thing if a thought comes up in your brain. You just have to realize that you have a thought that you're thinking right now, and you just have to let it go. But sometimes the thoughts just don't go away. They're just stuck in your brain and they don't want to leave. There are some things you can do to make them leave. One thing that I found out really works for me is a visualization practice. I visualize a box in front of me and I visualize then my thought going into that box, the box closing, and then I visualize myself just sweeping away the box. So the thought leaves with the box. And that actually really helps. Another thing you could do is maybe visualize you breathing out your thoughts, or your thoughts being flushed out of your body through your root chakra. Or maybe you can come up with your own visualization for letting your thoughts go. For me, that really helps, just getting back to your breath and back to the meditation. Because the meditation hasn't failed just because one thought came up in your mind. You just have to let that thought go and return to your breath and return to the meditation and to a calm state. Just try to not stress too much about it. And the last tip I have for you, tip number 4, is to try to create a specific meditation setup that works for you. There are many things that help you get into a meditative state of mind, if you want to say it like that. For example, lighting a specific kind of incense every time you meditate, or lighting a candle in the beginning of your meditation so you have something you can focus on. That really helps. Or maybe you have a specific spot where you always meditate, maybe in front of your altar or on your couch because it's more comfortable. Just try to maybe create a setup for you that reminds you that you're now going to meditate, because that already gets you into a meditative state of mind and it's easier to get into the meditation. The thing that also really helped me was trying out meditation music. For example, shamanic drumming works really well for me, or binaural beats tracks. There's really a lot of meditation music that you can listen to on Spotify or on YouTube. You just have to try out some tracks and maybe that will help you. And the last thing when it comes to your meditation setup is, do you sit or do you lie down? And where do you sit? And on what do you sit? For me, for example, lying down during a meditation doesn't work. I get relaxed, yes, that's a good thing, but I get too relaxed and maybe I will fall asleep. And I know quite some people that can't really meditate lying down because they will fall asleep. So what I try to do is I sit on a cushion because I definitely have to have some kind of support, and I try to sit up straight without any back support. Because as soon as I have back support, I get too relaxed and I struggle concentrating when I'm too relaxed. That's just sadly the way it is for me personally. But for you, it could be very different. It's possible that it's best for you to meditate on your couch, just having a cushion in your back for a little bit of back support, or maybe sitting on a chair and meditating works for you, or lying down, also possible. So try to experiment with that. So these were the tips that I have for you when it comes to meditating. I hope that some of the tips help you with your concentration during meditation. If one specific tip helped you, comment down below and let me know. I'm really curious. So that's it for today. If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe and leave a like. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!